All right, this is Dave back talking about this Powermate with a 3,200 amps. I had a difficult time finding specs for it online, and I got everything together for it. So I got the oil changed in it. So what you really need to know is this thing takes 18 ounces of oil. You go 1 ounce less, it's going to start running out the top. Also, it's one of these type of oil, even though it's got a dipstick in it, you fill it up till it starts to just run out the top. So you can either not make a mess and put 18 ounces of oil in it, or you can just keep throwing oil in it till it start pouring out the top, take your pick. And then it's got a regular dipstick as it starts to go down to a certain point. I put synthetic oil in it this time. I used a 1030 synthetic. Reason being is we live in Florida, it gets pretty hot. I really didn't see the need to do the 5. And I want to show you down here at the bottom. There's really no gasket to this thing right here, which is your drain plug. So I put just a little bit of Loctite on it, which will also help seal it when I put it together.
Your flashlight is too bright.
So it's right there. All right. I don't think
the green button.
right there. If you don't know if y'all can see it or not, right there. All right. I also might have noticed over here is where the propane piece was. I put a piece of hose over the propane piece so it wouldn't get knocked off. It sticks out a lot farther than everything else on the generator. It's going to have a propensity to get busted, so I put a little piece of hose over it so I protect it somewhat. On this side over here, this is where the air cleaner is at. As I talked about before, we took this to Alaska. I had some difficulty starting it when it was really cold out, and I had to take this all apart just to put some starting fluid in it. So I drilled some holes at the very bottom here, and this is where the water drain off is anyway at the bottom. The filter actually starts up here, so I can shoot starting fluid directly in these holes without having to take this all apart and make it run. If it rains and water gets in here, it's not a big deal. There's weep holes at the bottom that was made to drain water from that point down, so I think that's going to work out well. Last thing, the plug. I had to get an NKG, and the plug that came in this thing, it's really not available anymore, at least around here. It was F7TC, and what I'm using now is a NKG, and it's a BPR7ES, and it's gapped at about 28 to 30 on the American side, not metric, but inches. So that's pretty much it. We expect it to run real good from now on. Just make sure that the gas is kept fresh. The owner's manual is available online. Lowe's, for some reason, carries a PDF of it. How much longer it's going to be on there, I don't know. It'll probably come off eventually. So I wrote these specs on the side of the gas tank in marker. So later date, I know exactly what I'm looking for on this thing, because I don't think those specs will be online forever, especially as they change models. So anyway, this is Dave, and this is how this thing worked for us. It's been a good generator. Y'all have a good time with it. We did too. Thanks.